Ladies and gentlemen, you should know who I am by now and who he is by now, but in case you don't, I am the manager of champions. I am the man with the mullet. I am one half of the undisputed kings of commentary. I am co-founder of Overdrive Championship Wrestling and the general manager of the greatest brand ever known to man, Overdrive Pride. And next to me is the PNG of Power, the other half of the undisputed kings of commentary, the man who is also a co-founder of OCW and general manager of the white brand Overdrive Glory. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elias Storm. Elias, how you feeling this week, especially after last week when you gave New Day the house and they blew it in the most hilarious fashion possible?
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Glory. Secondly, I feel absolutely sensational after a phenomenal card, and the New Day blew their opportunity. But in Glory, never say never. So yes, the New Day failed to capture the tag team titles, and Xavier Woods could not beat the white hot Cedric Alexander. But that doesn't mean the New Day will not be champions by the near future. I expect great things from them, like I always have. But they weren't given anything. I just felt that match deserved better, and I was right. We got a slightly better match.
And of course, don't forget that the finish to that match included the best arm drag ever by Finn Balor into the 3 count. I'm sure there will be t-shirts for it next week. But anyways, I'm very intrigued by the card that you have on tap for us tonight. So why don't you go into it a little bit for us? Uh-oh, well, it appears we have lost him. Of course, he's in his mother's basement, as am I. Sometimes Wi-Fi connection isn't the best. We will try to re-find him, and when we do, we will get into OCW action, so do not go anywhere. And we are back. Elias has officially killed the man that, well, not killed, but told to leave the man who tried to fix his internet and got new internet. So now, Elias, why don't you go into your card for tonight now that you have glorious new internet? I will never use that word again.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh no, we have a phenomenal card here tonight. Speaking of phenomenal, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, will be making his debut on the white brand, taking on the other half of American Alpha, the powerhouse. Excuse me. I'm so used to Chad Gable being in multiple tag teams. Alpha Academy. We won the only Otis. Alright, in our second match, in the Women's Eliminator Blonde Tournament, we have Cora Jade and Liv Morgan taking on Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Then we have a glorious showcase match, not borrowed, stolen, or appropriated from the other brand. Josh Alexander will be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Keith Lee, also making his debut tonight. In our next match, we've got Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim taking on Bianca Belair and Mandy Rose, following up the opening round of the Women's One Limited Tag Team Championship. And in our main event, we have the great one, the Golden Star of my brand, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, our world champion, taking on the international champion Cedric Alexander in a champions exhibition match that I expect to be for the ages.
That's going to be a very interesting match. Obviously, Okada winning the Overdrive World Heavyweight Championship in, I kind of want to say, dominant fashion. I mean, The Miz was putting up a hell of a fight, but all it took was one Rainmaker and a little bit of short-sightedness by Cody, and Okada picked up a monumental victory. Cedric Alexander, meanwhile, has been working his absolute ass off. That's something that not even my opinionated ass can overlook, is the fact that Cedric's been putting in work. And honestly, it's going to be fascinating to see if the young man can capitalize on this opportunity and get a win over one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. However, Elias, I do want to point out there is a match you skipped over, and it's the match that I'm probably most intrigued by tonight outside of this main event. After the rip-off showcase match, you have a match scheduled between the American Dragon Bryan Danielson and Cash Money Wheeler, one half of FTR.
Now, my bad. Obviously, dealing with the internet man threw me off a bit. I'm also drafting up a letterhead to my lawyers to sue an individual who thought that he could rip off the great brand that is Overdrive Glory. I'll get back to you later on that. But now,
I want some royalties, Dan.
I expect great things from this match because Daniel Bryan would be making his debut tonight as well. Cash Wheeler's partner, Dash Wilder, or Dash Harwood, I should say, performed in that Battle Royal a couple weeks ago to determine the number one contenders, or should I say the opponents, for the Mayhem Tag Title match, and unfortunately he couldn't get done, so let's see if Cash can kind of pick up the slack for FTR. We expect better from, honestly, because they're the top guys.
They're the top guys in the tag division, but can they make it work in the singles division? As you said, we did see Uncle Dax a couple of weeks ago in the run-up to Wrestle Mayhem in that Battle Royal, but Cash Wheeler is going to get the first singles match of the two, and quite honestly, this is the first time I think I've ever seen him wrestle a singles match in any company. Granted, I'm sure he's had plenty. This is personally my first time. Now, before we get into the action, I do want to bring up the bracket so far for that Women's Tag Team Eliminator Tournament. As we saw last week, despite cooperation between Becky Lynch and Jordynne Grace, Dakota Kai and Jamie Hayter were the ones to move on, and the winners of that first match tonight between Jaden Morgan and Indy and Candice will face them in the semi-final round. But with all that being said, partner, are you ready to get into your infuriating brand?
I'm absolutely ready.
Alright, then absolutely. Let's do it. Overdrive Glory. Action coming your way right now. Of course, once again, we are live from the Trojan Wrestling Center. And I have to say, AJ Styles still has one of the greatest debuts of all time when he debuted at the 2016 Royal Rumble. Of course, the Kevin Dunn pay-per-view cut doesn't look great, but seeing that Jumbotron, seeing I Am, and then the phenomenal fade-in, followed by the pop of the crowd, that is a moment in wrestling history that always gives me chills. And I wasn't even around for it. I saw that shit after the fact, and it sent a chill down my spine every single time.
No, I remember sitting in my apartment with roommates and being absolutely astonished when I heard the music. I was like, who the hell is this? What a random bozo did they get to make an appearance? And then we see Roman Reigns' orgasm face, I have to assume, with pure shock. God, I feel bad for his wife. And then we see the words, I am phenomenal, and I absolutely mark out like a 16-year-old girl out of the quinceañera in astonishment that AJ Styles had left New Japan Pro Wrestling for the WWE.
Mark Shell like a 16-year-old. The kids. Honestly, you win. You win tonight. That is the greatest line of commentary I have ever heard in my life. Oh, but man, here is a man, part of a tag team that I so desperately wanted to draft. Of course, Alpha Academy, one of the many people that you snipe from me. Of course, I snipe from you. But Otis has had quite the interesting history over the past couple of years. In 2020, he seemingly broke out from his old tag team, Heavy Machinery, becoming not only Mr. Money in the Bank, but had a WrestleMania match, had a smoking hot lady in Mandy Rose, who will be in action later tonight. But it seemed after losing the Money in the Bank briefcase, they didn't quite know what to do with the man. But since he's been in Alpha Academy, Otis has become the powerhouse that he's truly meant to be. His teacher, mentor, and lifting buddy, Chad Gable, to me has truly brought the best out of this man. But can Otis prove he's a single star once again tonight? Of course, we'll find out at the end of this bell. Not that bell, but the one after this. We is underway. Oh, and a clothesline immediately by Otis, and he's coming out fast. Or hot and heavy, I should say. Oh my goodness! That physicality. I thought AJ was dead. Not gonna lie. Now these two locking up and trading lips, and Otis has planted the phenomenal one once more in the elbow drop from a standing position, and I don't blame Styles. And wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Otis, there's no goddamn way, the broken broomstick. Oh my god. And this is a massacre so far, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Styles has only gotten in a singular punch. This has been all Otis as he picks up AJ like he absolutely ain't no thing.
I'm liking this new attitude from Otis, family. I'm honestly quite shocked. I said AJ would dominate in matches, win with a flaw.
Holy shit! Did you see the distance he got on that?
He 100% support it. We're gonna have to test Otis for the Mutant X Gene after this match for sure, because that was definitely Nightcrawler.
Is that banned in our drug policy? I don't know.
I don't know. It's not banned, but we would obviously have to, get Otis proper. I don't even know how to say this.
We gotta make sure he's good. Competition? Oh, damn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he can't be a member of the roster as a mutant. He definitely just can't be wrestling the average person.
Well, now, AJ now taking over, rolling over Otis. Is this going to be enough? Probably not. Not even close. Otis kicking out at one. He's already back up. Oh, wait a minute. What a DDT. Is that going to be enough to keep him down? Not even close. Not even for a second. And AJ now, oh my goodness. Absolutely needed a stomach. And now working on the arm of Otis. And doing it again. Of course, Otis having a wicked clothesline. Maybe trying to take that, out of his arsenal is AJ. And not sure what he was going for there, but it goes right into the ropes. Otis here, bear hugging. Oh my god, what an arm drag by AJ. That probably took a lot out of him. And there's a forearm. And Otis is down to AJ, immediately picking him back up. And another DDT.
Finally some offense on behalf of the phenomenal one. Definitely looking better than the early half of that man.
And over the top rope, but he whiffs. He whiffs. And of course, the phenomenal one, never afraid to go high risk. He's done so almost his entire career. But that obviously taking more out of him than Otis. And now Otis a chance to regain control. Irish whip, surprised he can move that big boy. Another arm drag. What's AJ thinking? Could he be thinking a splash? Maybe a phenomenal forearm from the top rope. It's Styles, and no, a crossbody. Here's the cover. 1, 2, and that's not going to be enough. Otis chucking him off of him. And give a little thank you. And what a showcase by Otis tonight. I did not expect him to come out as hot as he did. But he's standing toe-to-toe with the veteran, the phenomenal one. A Pele kick from Styles. And Styles could be looking to end this soon. And Otis not able to keep up with the flurry of offense. There he is, rattling around. And AJ lining him up.
Calling for that move. Oh no! Absolutely misses Otis.
With a headbutt
Middle
of
rope
sorts.
shoulder tackle.
But as he's firing up, AJ kips up.
No, Styles corner.
Is Otis going to tap? He's close to the ropes, but needs to move forward a little bit. AJ's got it locked in. Otis doesn't even budge. Throws him over. And Otis now Irish whipping. What's he thinking?
What a match so far, ladies and gentlemen.
AJ shakes off Otis. Oh my God. Is that it? Is that it? No. And oh my God, a headbutt right to the face. AJ's busted open. And we're seeing a contrast of different styles. Of course, you know, AJ seemingly more comfortable, you know, doing high risk and going off the rope, while Otis, obviously a more physical specimen who's been wearing AJ down. But at the same time, AJ's gotten physical when he's needed to. He's landed the right punches and kicks, but, you know, is all of that going to be enough to stop a big man like Otis?
I don't know if that solely is going to be enough, honestly, Stanley. I definitely think AJ's going to have to return to that style route that made him so famous in Japan and allowed him to the IWGP World Championship.
Oh, here we go.
Put down a man
and Otis,
the size of Otis.
Otis hits the worm, though. Here's the cover. 1, 2. Oh, and AJ kicks out. Otis is beside himself. But that's why they call him the Phenomenal One. He has the heart of a lion. He never quits. And Otis got to figure something out here.
World's Strongest Slam. You know, maybe not as popular as it was with the one known as Sexual Talk Mark Henry, but
it worked.
That indeed does it.
A call up to sexual chocolate as the Worm Man with a, I mean, we say this a lot, no pun intended here, but a phenomenal victory to open OCW programming tonight. A big win for Otis, and even though he wasn't out here tonight, a big win for Alpha Academy as a whole. Chad Gable has got to be proud of his star pupil right now.
No, absolutely. Definitely not only shooting Otis up in the rankings for that international championship opportunity in the near future, but maybe even solidifying Alpha Academy as a go-to tag team to try and, you know, show that we are the brand when it comes to tag team wrestling. Speaking of tag team wrestling, though, women's wrestling is also important to us, which is why the WWE Women's Tag Team titles gave me the idea to introduce the OCW Women's Tag Team Championship and the Blind Eliminator Women's Tag Team Tournament.
Yes, sir, that's
right. With that being said,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just gonna lead into the match like you were.
Yeah, but with that being said, we've got Corey Drake and Liv Morgan, you know, two relatively newcomers, along with Eddie Hartwell and Candice LeRae. This is a match full of new, innovative talent in the women's division here on Glory. I can't wait to see what they get into in this match.
Yeah. As I've said, I'm honestly fascinated that you decided to bring about a women's tag team division. However, the question remains, will you have that championship be across multiple brands? Because if so, Pride is always up to answer the challenge.
You know what, honestly? I think that these women's tag team titles could truly be the branch that's needed between our two brands. Because obviously, Pride being the lesser brand, they could use some glory on their show. So you know what? Having my women's roster being the epitome of talent that it is, coming to your show to defend those titles and prove that they're the best, I have absolutely no problems with that. But, you know, let's make it through this tournament first before we solidify what we feel we need to do with that division. I definitely expect great things from the winners of this tournament, regardless of who they may be. And who knows? Maybe by the end of this tournament, you'll see Liv Morgan and Cora Jade, or Bianca Belair and Mandy Rose show up on Pride and defend their titles.
Well, hey, whenever you guys come a knocking, we will absolutely be there to answer the challenge. Because Pride backs down from no man, no women. We will go toe to toe any day of the week, like we're doing right now, just in the more rating sense. And here comes Liv Morgan, very recently a both women's single champion and tag team champion multiple times over. Even though it's with a different partner, I feel like that women's tag experience is going to serve her well in this match. Of course, Liv famously cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Ronda Rousey. Then later, alongside Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez, depending on who you ask, defeating Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to win the tag titles. And now here's an interesting team that you brought back, that of Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell, both formerly of The Way. Of course, Candice ended up having a baby, was off TV. I believe she's on the main roster now, and Indi also recently getting that main roster call-up to WWE in the alternate universe. How do you think their chances fare in this match, given that they're a bit more of a complete unit, than Liv Morgan and Cora Jade?
The only two teams, wildly enough, that the blind eliminator decided to put together when we did the wheel spin were The Way and Toxic Attraction. And seeing as they're the only two established teams coming into this tournament, absolutely they have a superior advantage. But I think because Toxic Attraction had a rough go of it since May, and it was unfair release in my opinion from the WWE. The Way, however, is stronger than ever. They're a family, and I definitely think that gives Indi and Candice quite the advantage.
And of course, Indi, one of the many great wrestling exports to come out of Australia. Of course, very recently, she was an NXT Women's Champion. Unfortunately, suffered an injury in an alternate universe. But in this universe, she's here, she's ready to fight, and we're going to see who's going to advance to face Dakota Kai and Jamie Hayter right now. And I really don't know who I got in this match, because I look at both teams. I see relatively fresh faces, but I also see some veteran talent. Honestly, I would have to give the nod to The Way here, just because they have some experience together as a team already. Speaking of The Way, Ray, oh my goodness.
The Way again has that experience of being a tag team, but also being a family, and I think that unfortunately will give them the edge over here when it comes to Cora and Liv. But don't count those two out. They're two women who are definitely very underrated for their size and positions in their respective divisions, and I expect them to put up a hell of a fight.
I mean, regardless, all four women in this match are experienced, decorated in some kind of way, and a head scissors to counter Candice's head scissors to start the match. And we are already off to a fast start here in the second match on Overdrive Glory. And excuse me. And oh my goodness, that looks like natural selection from Candice, and she's gonna tag out to Indi. And of course, a lockup of two potential mainstays here on Glory, as it looked like Candice got knocked off the apron, but Indi managing to plant Cora, going off the ropes again, and a kick to the face. Randy Orton's won many a match with that kind of move.
No, absolutely. The punt kick is dearly missed, but we will not be allowing something like that. It's just unsafe for our wrestlers. No, Candice and Indi are clearly in control of this match, working before. Liv Morgan not really trying to do. Oh, speaking of, she breaks up the pin attempt here. Do anything to help her partner. And I don't know if that's just because they're new, or if Liv doesn't really care about the tag team titles. Maybe Liv Morgan is focused solely on Becky Lynch and the Glorious Women's Championship.
Possibly.
And it's going for a cover again.
Yeah, possibly. Becky probably, waiting in the wings, waiting for somebody to come challenge her. Could that be Liv? Could that be someone else in this match? Could that be someone else entirely? I don't know. I don't book the show. But now Indy and Cora going back at it. Liv Morgan, the freshest woman in this match, has not tagged in yet. She did help break up a pin, but Indy is just absolutely showing Cora Jade the business right now on the outside. Oh my God, this almost doesn't seem like a fair fight. And oh, it looked like she was going for the overdrive, but instead does something even more spectacular. I really wonder, one of these days, one of these days, somebody is going to bust out the overdrive just randomly on one of these shows, and I'm going to mark the fuck out. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Randy Orton. Maybe it'll be Randy Orton. Maybe he'll bring back his old finisher. That would be funny as shit. And Cora has not answered the bell, and Indy knocking off Liv, and is this going to be an easy victory for the Way? And yes, and we might need to go check on Cora Jade. She did not move after Indy gave her the business on the outside, and the Way is going to move on.
Unbelievable. You know what? I was not expecting this result whatsoever. I figured that the Way would, will their way into a victory, but absolutely dominating Cora and just throwing her out for the countout was something I did not expect. That just goes to show that veteran presence of Candice LeRae and that mindset of by any means possible.
And you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at that bracket now. Indy and Candice, the Way, are moving on to face Dakota Kai and Jamie Hayter in the semifinal match. And quite honestly, looking at it, I really got. Oh, of course, the camera decides it doesn't want to work. While I fix that, I will say you gotta give it up to Indy Hartwell. She was insanely aggressive in this match. Liv Morgan not even getting a chance to tag in because of how much Indy, and to a lesser extent Candice, managed to wear her down. What are your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, not the greatest of matches, but honestly, when it comes to being champion, sometimes it's not about having a pretty win. Sometimes it's about getting that nitty-gritty win, or a win that's just super easy. So I think they were able to accomplish that.
A win's a win. Ask just about anybody on this roster where everything is so cutthroat, and I'm hating technology so much right now. It's not even the internet, it's fucking everything. You think shit's gonna work and it doesn't work. Okay, well, I guess I'll be an invisible head for right now while I try to figure this shit out. So we're gonna go on to our next match here, and of course, this being the match that you absolutely stole from me. But you have three men making their glory debut in this match. What are your thoughts?
These three guys definitely have potential to be future main eventers on this match, and they're definitely in potential to be upper mid-card mainstays. So regardless of who wins tonight, I'm going to go ahead and give them the opportunity. The winner of this match will be challenging Cedric Alexander in the next few weeks for the International Championship.
Wow, that's big. Those are very, very, very big words, which obviously just puts so much more weight on this match. Let's go ahead and get into that right now. Where's the button for it? There it is. And of course, the first man in this match, Josh Alexander, a man who was once killed right in front of his family by one of the best athletes on Pride right now in Moose, and one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. But outside of that, I'm very curious, Elias, because you have a lot of history with this guy. You've been monitoring his career for many, many years now. So, why don't you give the viewers the 411 on this man? Because there is a lot, I'm sure, that you need to go over.
Right, Josh Alexander. Near and dear to my heart, he is known as the walking weapon, a guy who honestly revitalized not only his career, but the image of Impact Wrestling by carrying the X Division Championship and being absolute fighting champion for well over a year. before cashing in Option X, Option C, and proving that the X Division and TNA leading into Impact, that full transition, deserve to be in the spotlight. Josh Alexander is the multiple time tag team champion as a member of the North with All Ego Ethan Page, a member of the AEW roster. Josh is the epitome of not only just like Canada and knit and grit, but like amateur wrestling. As you can see, he's still wearing not only a singlet, but earmuffs, like protection, headgear of a high school slash collegiate athlete. And I think that's a nod to how near and dear wrestling in general is his heart. And I can appreciate that.
Gotcha. And of course, coming out now, one of Japan's greatest stars, and a man who, while he's made a name for himself here in America in WWE, he has struggled to kind of get that big win. Of course, a couple IC title runs to his name, absolutely nothing to sneeze at. And of course, the international championship could be in his future, but he has struggled a little bit in winning that big one, winning that big match. But despite that, still one of the most over men in wrestling. Everybody knows his theme. I'm surprised his body, even though it ain't that old, could still do shit like that,
Yeah, that's a very good point. Also, now thanks to Little Uzi Vert, the American rapper, his theme song, known to all hip hop heads out there.
And of course, my camera is now back, running at half the frame rate, but that's okay as long as the shit works. Because sometimes shit doesn't work and I get mad. And usually I would get mad and flip desks and break shit, but that's not who I am anymore. I took my blood pressure medication, therefore I am fine. And speaking of fine, there's a fine looking man walking down the ramp. A man who one day I wish to have on my own brand. A man who I think would make for a great international champion, should that come to pass, in one Keith Lee, who's making his Glory debut. His tag partner, one half of One in Glory, Ricochet, making his debut in that tag title match a few weeks ago.
Absolutely right. And keep your hands off Keith Lee, or I will still LA Knight. But no,
the draft comes once
a
year,
man who tells people to bask in his glory, to belong to no other brand. The fact that he wasn't drafted higher is honestly criminal. So apologies to Mr. Lee for that. But he's here now. He has a championship opportunity. And I think that's what matters the most.
I cannot say words today. And of course, opportunities mean absolutely everything to anybody on this roster, just given how flippin' stacked it is. And ladies and gentlemen, the Rip-Off Showcase match has officially gotten underway, and Keith Lee just kind of staying out his ways, gonna let the other two do the work, and in a drop kick right to Alexander, and Alexander's got his head next to Nakamura's knee, but no, now he's back up, and now all three men finally back in the ring. And each man trading blows. Oh my God, the pelvic thrust by Keith Lee. Even that ass is powerful. Or limitless, I should say. It's a limitless ass. And Nakamura-san now. Oh my God, planting him on his face, and the drop kick to Lee. Nakamura trying to wear down the two big men early in this
match. Yeah, Nakamura is probably the least strongest man in this match, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's out of it.
He is the king of strong style.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably the hardest hitter.
But speaking of hard hits, the limitless one with the kendo stick right to the face of Alexander, and he's got to roll out the ring. That sounded absolutely brutal. Nakamura-san now, and there's that strong style we mentioned, and now going even stronger style, but oh my God, a chop to his face, and he's planted by Alexander, and honestly, some half-decent teamwork between Lee and Alexander, but a DDT, and that was a very short-lived friendship.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I definitely think this match is going to test the limits of all these guys, which is great for us. I'm very surprised to see a weapon introduced this early for guys like this, but I don't blame them. You know, an opportunity at Cedric Alexander, who's white hot right now with two 5-star matches to his name. I can't blame them for looking at this as an opportunity. It would be great.
And let's not pass up that amazing tag team maneuver by Alexander and Nakamura, but now Keith Lee back in control, but a kick out at Uno. It seems that no friendships are meant to last in this match. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Temporary partnerships galore in this match here.
Now Keith Lee outside the ring. Shinsuke rolling out to get the kendo stick.
Grabbing that kendo stick. And he's going immediately after Keith Lee. Well, that doesn't work.
And both men forgetting about Alexander, who goes in to strike on Nakamura-san. And absolutely tossing Nakamura back. That's straight onto the floor. I don't care if it's padded. That shit hurted.
Yeah, no, nice exploder suplex, definitely textbook. A Keith Lee, oh my god, absolutely flatlining Josh Alexander. Nakamura making quick work of him though. Josh Alexander, an absolute, again, walking weapon, immediately back up after taking that move to the outside.
And all three men taking to the outside, a whiff drop kick by Alexander. Nakamura-san having to fight out of holds by Lee, and now Alexander inserting himself and all right against the barricade, and that shit's made of straight steel. That shit doesn't hurt, and oh my god, a nasty spill by Nakamura-san. If you're wondering where our announce desk is, it's out on the stage. You just can't see it. You know.
Yeah, we're like moving around sometimes. Mind your business.
Anyway, all three
men.
We can
do with you.
All three men still on the outside of the ring, and the fans popping now for Alexander, picking up Nakamura and just planting him to the ground. Oh my god, the walking weapon, using the lethal weapon that is his pythons. And Nakamura, oh my goodness, he's taken more beatings than anyone it seems in this match, though Keith Lee also sustains a lot of damage so far. But he looks like he's still fresh, the way he just absolutely manhandled Nakamura like that.
No, absolutely. Oh, surprisingly, Josh Alexander has taken the most damage, and yet seems to be the guy who's feeling it the least. I don't know if that's just his sheer tenacity, or if all Canadians are just many Wolverines hiding in this forest out there drinking maple syrup.
I will say, Canadians just are outright built different, okay? Like, that is something I think that all of us can agree on. Canada's just built different.
It's a very interesting country. I would love to visit again in my spare time. Maybe recruit some new guys. If Alexander has that STF crossface maneuver locked in, working over Keith Lee.
Some of the sort, but that's not going to work outside of the ring. But, Alexander probably thinking more so the long game, trying to wear down that big body of Keith Lee. Because Keith Lee, he is limitless, and he can take a lot, and I mean a lot of punishment. Honestly, all of these guys, all of these guys I feel like take a lot of punishment just because of how physical each one of them is. And, oh my god, a spinning tombstone!
Nakamura immediately breaking it up. You had to think that was the match if he didn't.
I think it very well might have been. Keith Lee is not getting up. But Nakamura-san, he's been here before. He's done this song and dance. He immediately breaks it up. And now going after the probably weaker man. But what a cutter by Alexander. And this could be his opening. Nakamura busted open. Alexander continuing to chip away. But does he notice that Keith Lee is stalking him?
Oh, what a suplex. And immediately, Keith Lee.
And Lee possibly looking for maybe a face
buster. No, Alexander counters. Drops the leg.
Drop kick. But oh my god. He shakes it off. Spirit bomb. And actually, no, that was a regular power bomb.
No.
Still hit it. And Nakamura, he bonks them together. The big kabonk. And now knees to Lee. And an axe kick. And a super kick! Alexander busted open! Here's the cover! And he kicks out.
Nakamura with an absolute tear there.
Where the hell did
I
Keith Lee
honestly
go?
thought
Oh,
that
there
was
he
the
is.
end of the match.
Nakamura with a knee knocking
I was into
Alexander
the
out.
outside.
And Nakamura going for
Keith
Lee.
Lee.
And right on the barricade. Now what's Lee thinking? He's had some time to recuperate. I feel like Nakamura. Oh, and a cutter by Alexander out of nowhere. See, I feel like Nakamura, he didn't go after Alexander, instead went after Keith Lee. I think Nakamura's trying to make a statement. I think he wants to prove that he can beat both men, but is that pride? Is that going to overtake him? And a chance for a spirit bomb!
Oh, another power bomb, man. Unbelievable.
But Lee rolling Alexander out of it, and Nakamura somehow picks up Lee for the Falcon Arrow!
That Valley driver.
Now,
Unbelievable.
that looked like a Falcon Arrow to me, but of course I could be wrong. I'm only wrong 1% of the time. That could be one of those times. And just
Alexander immediately breaking up. Smart decision.
belly to belly.
Belly. Smart.
It is nothing but pure chaos in this match. Alexander
Stopping Keith Lee.
sizing him up. And what's he thinking here? Oh, package pile driver doesn't work. A nice little clothesline by Nakamura. Keith Lee so worse for wear that knocks him down. He might have been standing earlier in the match.
Working over Josh Alexander.
King of Strong Style becoming the King of Stronger Style. But the walking weapon, a drop kick from a standing position.
Now Alexander has the kendo. Oh, no.
No,
He says
forwent
it.
it. But Keith Lee's got a sledgy. Keith Lee's got a sledgy. We might have a sledgy kendo war. And we do get the sledgy kendo war. Alexander to the sternum of Shinsuke.
Alexander.
And a whip. Nakamura fucking whips. Oh, I can hear the whip from here, and we're up on stage. Oh shit! I'm sorry. That was funny.
You want to see a superplex here?
But the sledgehammer's in the middle of the ring. Oh my god!
No!
Don't do it, Josh! Oh my god! On the sledgehammer, but Keith Lee picks him up. But he's down. Alexander. What is he thinking? I don't know. Nakamura's still out. He took that on the sledgehammer.
Dragging him over.
Possibly thinking late cover. Maybe not anymore. Wait a minute. No, don't do it. He has a family. Oh my god, Josh. No!
Oh my
A pile driver on the sledge. But Keith Lee's right there. Nakamura might have been donezo.
Weapon X for Shinsuke Nakamura, but Keith Lee knowing.
But he's going for Keith Lee!
Unbelievable. A second Weapon X. I'm honestly astounded.
Josh Alexander doing everything he can, trying to steal his pin, and Alexander's like, fucking nope. And a sledgehammer right to the ass. And wait, is the ass sledgy gonna win it? No, it won't. All three men. The fans are chanting all these guys, and why wouldn't they? All three men putting everything, mind, heart, body, soul, and body. Oh my god, right to the knee. But Alexander's right up, but he whiffs on the cutter. Shinsuke looking for a weapon.
Oh, that was got hurt. Keith Lee just standing on.
Shinsuke
Nakamura throwing those kicks.
And of course, he produced the Sting bat. And both men going after Lee. And Shinsuke! I don't know how he managed to grab Alexander, but Alexander with even better counter. And, oh my god, a spinning pile driver, and that just misses the bat.
We gotta talk to Josh Alexander after this match about dropping people on their necks. I mean, come on, buddy. Think about their career here. Well, trying to put on a brand.
Well, I mean, Kurt Angle thrived after breaking his neck, and is this going to be it? No, not even.
No,
You got a 2.2. Now it's like 2.2. Keith Lee.
Easily taking a second to gloat. I don't know if that's the greatest idea.
That does cost him a little bit of time as Nakamura is back in the ring. Another
Spirit
spirit
bomb?
bomb, yes, but Nakamura's right there, and Lee knows it, but he takes the knee to the face. But he's back up. And Lee,
Lee,
my God!
onto the back. Oh my God! He picks up the sledgehammer.
This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal.
What a match, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
Yet and another Death Valley driver here.
Here's the cover. Shinsuke gonna win.
Dude.
No! No! Kick out at 2.
Alexander kicks out. He does not today to Shinsuke.
It's matches like this that keep me from ragging on this brand completely, because even I have to admit when I see greatness in front of me. And this is absolute greatness. But hey.
I find it, no, absolutely. I find it very curious that the two NXT alums seem to be favoring the sledgehammer. Daddy Triple H there. Josh Alexander looking for something. Oh no!
He didn't see that shit coming.
Hey,
and the kendo stick breaks. And how the sledgy right to the knee again. And Lee
trying to prevent that Kinshasa here.
Is the Papa H gonna be enough? No.
Kick out at 2 by Nakamura. Absolute banger of a match so far, ladies and gentlemen.
And this match
Uncle
has
Dave
5
has
stars.
no choice but to rate it 5 stars.
He'd give it 6 if it were in the Tokyo Dome, the stingy bastard. And now bear hug and an overhead suplex. Could that take Shinsuke out of it? And for the moment, it does. Alexander.
This can't be good for Keith Lee. Oh, absolutely working over that knee. Keith Lee is a very big man. That knee is needed for stability. Josh Alexander.
And the STF. Is he going to tap? Is Lee going to tap? He looks like he's fading a little bit in the middle of the ring. No, he powers right out of it.
Counter.
And Hurricane Rana by the big man!
And again, Sledgehammer playing a massive part of this match. Will that be enough?
And the Papa H wins it!
Papa H to the bread back to the Keith Lee, and we have our next International Championship #1 contender in one Shinsuke Nakamura.
And of course, everybody playing along to the song. I hate it when your brand does great, but at the same time, I love it when your brand does great. It gives me plenty of material as a commentator. But also, when either brand is great, OCW is great. And that match right there, that match shows just how great OCW is. And just, I mean, you got to be proud of your guys after that. You have got to be proud of the work that they just put in right there.
I am absolutely beyond proud. That isn't even the word. Because proud kind of, infers pride. That's not something we like to talk about here in Glory.
It was this close. It was this close to getting them to say the thing.
Yeah, but they will be compensated properly with another 5-star match being awarded to Glory here. Shinsuke Nakamura earns his opportunity. Speaking of earning opportunity, 1/2 of 8-star FTR will be taking on the American Dragon and Bryan Danielson, the man known to be the best professional wrestler on the planet. Will Bryan Danielson, kind of prove his way here? He recently pinned Kazuchika Okada at,
well, no, he didn't.
Forbidden Door 2.
No, he didn't pin him. He straight up tapped him out with a broken fucking arm, dude.
You are right. Kazuchika Okada tapping out for the first time in a very long time. Bryan Danielson maybe looking to make that a repeat and become Overdrive World Champion. First, he has to make it through.
Now, of course.
That's Wheeling.
Now, what I like about this match is that both of these guys really give me that feeling of the scrappy underdog. Of course, Bryan Danielson, once known as Daniel Bryan in the alternate universe, had to overcome so many odds, both on-screen and off-screen, just to show why he is one of the greatest performers on this planet. But Cash Wheeler grew up the youngest of, what was it? Or one of the youngest of 13 kids, I want to say.
Right.
So,
Yes.
so of course, when you're the youngest sibling of that many siblings, you gotta fight. You gotta fight for every little scrap that you're given. And Cash Wheeler, alongside Dax Harwood, they have scrapped and fought their way to the top of tag team wrestling. But of course, one half of the Living Legends tonight trying to prove himself in the singles division. And might I add, what amazing attire, of course, you know, styled after the NWO. You know, I wonder, are we ever going to have a group in this company that's going to be good enough to have their own pay-per-view? I feel like we will at one point.
Who knows? Honestly, the Bloodline here on Glory haven't reunited just yet, but they did massive work over in the alternate universe. Maybe FTR reforms the Pinnacle with brand new members. Who knows?
Pinnacle would not be a bad pay-per-view name, or it wouldn't be a bad TV pay-per-view name, I should say. Which, by the way, we need to get on that. We need to get some TV, some TV pay-per-views, but that will come. That will come.
I'm definitely thinking Battle of the Belts is an option.
Oh, 100%. But of course, ours is going to be better. Ours isn't just going to be some random-ass Saturday show that isn't Collision. Ours is going to be primetime programming.
Yeah, Wednesday night, baby. As Cash Wheeler waking over Daniel Bryan here.
And as we said, Cash Wheeler, he's a scrappy one, of course, youngest of 13 kids, and he and Danielson looking to have a scrap here and a forearm in the face.
What an elbow.
And dude, you could see just the spit and sweat flying from Danielson. But of course, the one thing that you need to know about Bryan Danielson, never. Oh my goodness! Sorry, that was just a great maneuver. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We apologize for that. Not only was, Elias having to kill his internet man, but I now have to go and kill my own internet man because our means of communication completely bottomed out on us. Of course, that's not our fault. We blame everybody but us because we are blameless creatures. But all that aside, that was another great match. A very physical match between Cash Wheeler and Bryan Danielson. Of course, Danielson having to hit not one but two psycho knees just to keep one of the top guys down. What do you have to say about Cash Wheeler's performance in this match?
First of all, the internet guy, the entire family is not dead, as far as I can say. But Cash really put up an absolutely amazing fight. While I was, trying to get the portal reestablished for communication purposes, I was able to watch this match and taking not one but two psycho knees just to barely miss a 3 count. I am absolutely proud of Cash. I would definitely have to take Cash and Dax's hard work these last few weeks into consideration about who takes on Judgment Day next for those tag team titles. They're definitely working their way up the list for me. Obviously, New Day can go on chance for those titles as long as Finn and Priest hold them. But yeah, be on the lookout. Maybe FTR are your future #1 contenders. We'll definitely make some arrangements to see. But Cash definitely showed why he deserves to be on my roster today.
And honestly, if Cash Wheeler can kick out of a psycho knee, he can kick out of the best arm drag ever. But that being said, we got another eliminator tag match coming up next.
Yes, we do. This one to me is probably the most interesting of all the matches in this tournament. Obviously, you have Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim, who are very good friends in real life. They're both members of BRE over on the Up Up Down Down channel. And then you have two women who honestly have nothing in common besides the fact that they're both former NXT women. Oh no, actually, Bianca Belair was not able to catch. Besides the fact they're both former women's champions in general. Mandy Rose being the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time, and Bianca Belair successfully, gaining the record for the longest Raw Women's Champion of all time. But other than that, and both being very attractive, they really don't have any common ground. And obviously, Toxic Attraction is lurking in the wings now that they've reformed over here in OCW. And JC and Gigi are obviously also in this tournament. So I don't know what that means in the event that Mandy and Bianca win this match.
Well, Toxic Attraction could implode for a second time in a different universe. Completely weird that it happened twice. Of course, Shayna Baszler in an alternate universe has a huge SummerSlam matchup coming up. An MMA rules match, whatever the goddamn fuck that means.
I don't know why they didn't just do a fight pit. It was right there. Then again, that would have to make it the main event. God forbid they do that. Women's wrestling.
Yeah, God forbid, but missed opportunities and missed opportunities. We don't have missed opportunities in OCWs. There's not multiple, there's only one.
Oh, yeah.
And anyways, here comes Mia Yim. We're not even talking about her, of course. Mia struggled a little bit on the main roster, to establish her sea legs, but of course, an absolute icon in the dying days of. I really shouldn't say dying. That's all I can think of. The end days of Black and Gold NXT. She's somebody who I feel people don't look at hard enough. She can do standard wrestling. She can do the hardcore stuff. She'll do anything that you ask her to do. She's pretty damn good at doing it.
No, I agree. Michin Mia Yim, current member of the OC, the alternate universe, aka Bullet Club, without being Bullet Club for trademark reasons. Definitely has potential as Mandy Rose makes her way to the ring. Mandy Rose, to me, being Mia's partner is very interesting because she was unjustly, in my opinion, fired from WE after, some sources leaked that her personal website had some spicy pics on it. Kind of find it weird for you to know that there's spicy pics on it without being subscribed to it. But power balances in wrestling, right?
And they,
No, but I expect really interesting things from this team.
but they forget. Granted, this was after she got fired the first time. They forget that Scarlett fucking broke OnlyFans when she got
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
She,
yeah, yeah.
she broke that shit. That was the best. But I mean, I feel like with Mandy Rose, I mean she was an all right wrestler in the main roster, but when she went to NXT, it was a pure transformation. Not just physically, especially going from a blonde to a brunette, but again, just suddenly coming on the scene and becoming one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion, holding that for I think close to, if not well over a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a Oh no.
I am so mad because I'm just now realizing, because my computer shit the bed, of course, people didn't get to hear my grand apology, and we went through a whole match without any microphone audio. God fucking damn it.
So hold myself according to the audience. Hey.
Well, that's okay. Our production team will figure out something else in post when we go to, of course, upload the replay of this match to our YouTube channel. Of course, all OCW matches being broadcast on Channel 69. But hey, my voice is back now, just in time for this main event, and that's the opening bell. We are underway, and both men locking up, and Okada, what's he thinking here? The ref almost getting in the way, and oh my god, right to the back of the head.
What a shot the Cedric has in. No challenge. Oh, what a German.
And a suplex bridge, but
break.
a rope break. And Okada looks like a spine buster right there. The World Heavyweight Champion, he's had a lot of time to rest. He's using that time off to his advantage, and almost thought he was going to lock in a figure four right there. And he's not even...
Definitely a possibility that leg lock is moved in his arsenal. Cedric Alexander not really getting any offense yet, but there he is.
And
Cedric has been very hard hitting these last few weeks, and I think this new movestyle is...
What a cross body after the suplex, and here we go. Here's the cover in 1.3. Okada kicking out of that almost immediately. Oh, but now Cedric
the leg of his own.
But Okada slapping that leg away, and he's gonna have to roll out the ring. And wait a minute, Cedric Alexander saying, "No, you don't, crossbody," or no, that looked more like a flying clothesline.
Cedric Alexander saying, "No way do you think you're better than me." Cedric Alexander has not had a week off since the draft, honestly speaking. He even when he wasn't on the card, he was in the performance center training, trying to be the best possible. And since then, the national champion has been tearing.
Now Okada though hit that tombstone, of course, when he beat the Miz, hitting the Miz with a tombstone and Rainmaker combination. And quite honestly, had Cedric not countered, and oh my God, look at that! There's a cover. Is he gonna steal it? No, he won't.
Dude.
But as I was saying, Cedric, had he not countered Okada just a few moments ago, that might have been the match. Of course, the Rainmaker. Oh my God, Okada walking across the spine. That can't feel good. But again, the Rainmaker being one of the deadliest finishers in wrestling. And oh my goodness.
Rocky Cedric here.
Here's the cover. Could this be it?
One.
No.
Two. Cedric can count it too. Absolutely no way.
What an absolute standing senton by Okada. The World Heavyweight Champion looking great. And whoa, wait a minute. German into the Rainmaker. He hits it. Here's the cover. Is this it already? 1, 2, 3.
And it is Okada proving once again that he is the champion. Unfortunately, Cedric Alexander putting up a hell of a fight, but just no one so far seemed to be able to truly get out of that German into the Rainmaker combination. Okada moving 2, 3-0 here in Overdrive. Glory. Honestly, kind of disappointing.
But I mean, quite honestly, I feel at the very least, I'll make some excuses for your boy here. As you said, he's been the workhorse. We haven't seen Okada since WrestleMania, which granted that was 2 weeks ago. But Alexander has been on every show but one. He's been defending the international championship. Obviously, had to fight for it in a triple threat at WrestleMania. I leave that up to fatigue. Of course, Alexander still fighting with everything he had. Of course, that a tombstone into a Rainmaker was very possible early on in that match, and he fought out of it. But I feel like Cedric was just a wee bit too tired to fight in this one.
Well, as said earlier, I just came up to get an opportunity. But I will be giving I'll talk to Cedric, but guaranteed he has next week off. If he feels he knows he needs another week after that, I'll give it to him. So Okada proving once again that he is the guy here in Glory, officially moving to 3-0, still undefeated. I'll be looking for his next challenger. Cedric Alexander definitely name will definitely be in contention for that. Obviously, he put on a hell of a fight, but he has to make it past Shinsuke Nakamura first. So we'll see how that match plays out as well.
And that'll,
But great card tonight.
and that'll likely be a hard-hitting matchup. The matchup against Nakamura. I do want to say I don't do this often, so please don't post this on my Twitter. But I would like to apologize to you, partner, because with things on my end shitting the bed like they did, again, not entirely my fault, but things did shit the bed on my end, and and the production team definitely has their work cut out for them getting the replays up. But I do apologize to you for everything going south the way that they did. But we never say die here in OCW. We're gonna do our job. We're gonna deliver great wrestling to you guys, and I'm glad, even though my mic was not hot for that last match and a half, I'm glad that we got to finish this show, and we're about to go into our next show. But again, I'm rambling. Partner, I would like to say apologies that your show got interrupted, because I wouldn't want that shit to happen.
Working with Magical Porter to make this brand and this commentary team work, crazy things happen. So, I'm not really mad at it. We were still able to put on, in my opinion, a very great show tonight, even with all the technical difficulties. So all I can say is, hopefully next week we don't have these issues. And I'd like to apologize to all my guys and girls. They were true professionals in that.
Absolutely. Shouts out goes to the 4 women of that second tag eliminator match. Of course, they had to wait around. They had a little tea party in between, so it's not like they were bored. But of course, having to wait for our production issues to get back underway. And thank you to the fans. Not a single fan filed out of the arena. Of course, OCW has the best fan base in the world. We would like to thank you. But for right now, we got to get ready for the next show. The Orange brand, the brand that I think is the A brand, even though there's no A in Pride, but there's no A in Glory either. So really, either brand could be the A brand, but of course it's the Orange brand, it's the A brand. Anyways, we are going to get prepared for that, and we will return in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned.